many people have watching the videos of this beautiful girl you are watching now. Me myself, I discovered you 2 years ago, maybe, in the Project Camelot interview, and it was something very different, looking at somebody who is speaking about spirituality, but with your beauty and the way you dress, you act, you know. So now that I met you, I discovered another skill of Jessica, the famous Jessica Mystic. This is your sense of humor, no? And this is what I made myself to doing an interview. So we were talking about your how do you started to think about spirituality, your awake, no? So tell us the story about the trip you create your job.
The cruise story.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it all started with a nightmare I was having of a scary monster chasing me, and I became lucid in the dream where I realized I was dreaming, and I walked up to that scary monster and I said, "Hi, by the way, you're not real," and poof, I can't snap, poof, he disappeared. And I looked at this dank, dismal, depressing place I was in, and I thought, tropical paradise, and there I was, standing in a tropical paradise. I woke the next day and I thought, this is really interesting, because the night before I was looking at a book and it was saying that dolphins use 100% of their brain and 50 while they're sleeping, and humans use 10% of their brain less while they're awake and 100 while they're sleeping. So this had me think that, does that mean that dolphins consider humans to be asleep? And if that is so, then does that mean that if I were to be aware that this life is a dream, that I could control it like I did in that nightmare I just had? So I decided, I'm going to test this out. I kind of always feel like a scientist and a guinea pig to myself. Without whatever crazy idea I have to explore, because that's what life is about.
How old were you at that moment?
How old was I? Oh gee, I don't know. I never keep track of detail. It was after my father passed away. I think I was 20...
2002?
22. I was 22. No? And so anyway, I decided to write down on the calendar April 14th. Somehow I would be in a tropical paradise and it would all be paid for. And the thought of the dolphins would lead me to the dolphins. So the next day I went to work on set. I was in the film industry at that time. And one of my friends said, "You know, Jess, you'd be really good working on a cruise ship." And I said, well, I thought about that, and I know it's not possible because you have to have a secondary education. It's mandatory. You have to either have college or university, and I don't even have high school. I'm not really a fan of coming up the assembly line, you know, having a piece of paper to determine my self-worth. So anyway, I was feeling like, okay, well, yeah, I don't stand a chance. But then it popped into my head, Jess, you're dreamy, you can do whatever you want. I was like, oh yeah. So I went to do this interview, and I had this very scary, intimidating woman from Harvard University grilling me and trying to, you know, intimidate me. And what I did was I researched the company 3 different ways: guest aspect, crew aspect, and business aspect. So I knew more about her company than she did. And all an interview really is just 20 different ways why you want to work for our company. And so rather than saying I'm a people person, hard worker, fast learner, blah, 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 I just looked her square in the eye and said, yeah, I'm more action than talk. Put me on that ship and I'll show you what I can do. And I arrived exactly April 14th.
This is black magic or white magic?
No. You impress them in an interview, right? Yeah. You don't want to be like everybody else saying the same thing.
But you affected the mind of the interviewer, no?
I inspired them because they wanted somebody with a very dynamic kind of a personality.
And you were this person.
Yeah, because you're going to be... I was going for the job of master ceremonies, hosting, coordinating, arranging activities and events. Do you want somebody who's like, no?
It's better somebody as you.
Yeah, so why not? And so I arrived exactly April 14. My job was master of ceremonies, hosting, coordinating, arranging all the activities and events, being paid to explore the Mayan ruins, Tulum, and to swim with dolphins. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So you have the power of creating by your mind, and your goal, as you told me, is that everybody has this power, no, to create
Yes.
their own reality.
Yes.
The central message of Jessica.
They
now.
just have to test it out for themselves. That's all. You have to also trust yourself, believe in yourself, and face your fears. And you will just see firsthand just how much there are no limits, just beliefs, and truth is stranger than fiction.
Let's talk about beauty and your beauty. We were talking that part of your success is your beauty, no? There is no so many beautiful girls that are speaking about spirituality. And tell me, you are conscious of your beauty, and tell me about how do you see or do you feel the beauty now, and your point of view about it?
Well, first of all, I see it as a mirror. My beauty is a mirror. So everybody is a mirror reflecting back at them their own
But
beauty.
you know your power of attraction to the boys, because you told me that there are a lot of boys who wants to marry you. No, let's talk about. We are in Spain. We are in Spain. In Spain, we talk as this.
Okay, what do you want me to say about that?
What we were talking about.
We were talking about a lot of things.
The
Specific.
but for instance, the title of the T-shirt that you write.
Yeah.